Three, two, one.
Oh, it's time?
Time.
Can I talk now? Just kidding.
Everybody's good, right?
Everything's good. TikTok's live. We're live on
That is
YouTube.
loud.
You might be loud.
I don't hear it too loud.
We couldn't figure this out before we start the damn thing.
Hey,
No, because
I
it wouldn't be us if
tested
we
your
did.
microphone.
Thanks, Tara.
It was good.
No, mine's good.
I can hear you.
We're good?
Yeah.
All right.
Mm.
Welcome, everybody, to a brand new Old Carver Fishing Podcast. Today, we're in studio once again here at Old Carver Fishing Bait and Tackle Shop in Carver, Minnesota. And I'll introduce the table first, and then we're going to introduce the guest. You guys can get to know her throughout this podcast. Also, if you have any questions during the podcast, make sure you ask them in the comments. Tara will be checking the TikTok. If you have any questions on TikTok, you can ask on there. We are live on YouTube and on Facebook, Old Carver Fishing Podcast. Also, if you're not subscribed to the Old Carver Fishing Podcast channel, make sure you go over to YouTube or Facebook, like the page, and subscribe. It is free to do so. Other than that, welcome to the podcast. And I already see we got Jay Johnson in the house. Chewy's laughing, giggling over there.
Amy, don't talk about drop shotting. I don't know why you're on, pal.
Yeah, we're not talking about it today. But I am Luke Henches. Fish on Luke, YouTube, TikTok, Catch the Fever. And next to me, we got Tara Fishing. Tara.
What?
What happened?
Normally
That's
you
Tara.
say everything.
That's Tara. Tara Fishing on TikTok, YouTube. Catfish Clothing, Catch the Fever. She's big time.
Only fans.
And oh shoot, Scott. Scott's on the end. Scotty. Goodyman. He's Old Carver pro staffer. We call him. Would
Not a
you stop
fan.
whispering to me in my
Well,
mic?
I thought you were
fan.
forgetting.
No, I wasn't forgetting. I'm just messing
Nobody
around.
else can hear me.
He's
I could hear
we call
you.
him the panfish guru around here. He does a lot of ice fishing, and he has a young child now, so it's a little less ice fishing, but he's still ice fishing a lot.
I try.
He's the man. Next to him, we got Danny Two Cats, local legend here on the river, does a lot of river fishing. Expertise is walleye and catfish. He is also an Old Carver pro staff, wearing this brand new beautiful Old Carver fishing hat, which is available
And
at
he's
Old
get-
Carver Bait and
And he's
Tackle.
getting his river guide license to be guiding this summer.
You're going to get your Coast Guard?
Yeah.
No.
It's so hard.
What? Oh.
Across from me.
Sounds like I got promoted.
Yeah.
Across from
last
me,
week.
the mouthy one, we got Chewy Godinez Jr., co-owner of Old Carver Fishing Bait and Tackle Shop, Stoked Custom Baits. Not present is Rika. He left for a little bit. He's also one of the owners here at the bait shop. And today, we got a good one.
We do.
We got Miss Amy Munsinger in the house.
Yay. Look at that, Amy Camp.
Woman Angler Strong. So today's podcast title is "Women Are Taking Over Fishing," and it's great. And I think
gotta bring that down a little.
thing is, when you talk about women angling, you're it used to be weird. There wasn't a lot of, it wasn't as big as a deal, and there was social media now, and women actually really getting out there,
They are.
putting their time in, and becoming.
They're killing
But
it.
there's a lot of women I know that are a lot better than men at fishing, which is amazing
yeah.
to see. I mean, Tara's way better at fishing than me, and she's just gotten better over time, over and over and
Don't
over.
Spill her Red Bull, Chewy.
But Amy's in the house. Amy is a Minnesotan, and we're going to let her talk about herself. She's a multi-species angler, which we will get into. She's done tournaments. She's been parts of organizations. She's a director of an organization. She's has
not anymore.
sponsors. You were.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I was once other things too.
My
You know?
gosh.
You're the man. You're the man.
But Amy, tell us where you're from, and we'll start there, and then we'll let everyone else around the table start asking questions. I'm sure they have a ton of them.
I grew up in Bloomington. Went to Jefferson Jaguars. Woo woo. I won't tell you the year I
You're talking
graduated.
your mic just a little more.
I won't tell you the year I graduated, but yep, I grew up. I didn't have any influencers in my life to go fishing with, and I went a couple here and there, and then all of a sudden, my son joined the Lakeville High School fishing team, the bass team, and which I didn't even know high school even had fishing
Mhm.
teams. Like it's so crazy
Yeah,
how
it's
much
awesome.
they've grown, and so I was like the mother that helped out, did everything. Made sure my kid was safe on his boat, had his safety vest on, and made sure he had his lunch and he had his, his snacks and he had all his
Cute.
water and everything before he got on the boat. That mother. Sorry, Alex, but did the weigh in and whatever, and I decided that hey, I could do this, and so I decided that I wanted to get a kayak. And one of my tattoo artists, actually, I was sitting in his chair and I was looking around and I was laughing at him like, why does he have all those trophies around him? And he goes, those are mine. And he won all these kayak tournaments. And so I'm like,
Nice.
I want to learn. Teach me.
What's his name?
Dave Michelson.
He did my tattoo.
Isn't he from Minnesota
true.
Kayak Association?
True Tattoos.
Mhm.
And so he took me on my maiden voyage, went out, and he got me hooked on it. And ever since then, I'm with Minnesota Kayak. I did some tournaments, didn't do great, but I got the itch. And then I decided I want to do ice fishing. So my girlfriend and I did the first ice fishing tournament for WHAM, and my weight brought in huge weight, placed 18th
Yep.
with 0.38.
That's big time.
Huge.
If you guys aren't familiar, WHAM is Women Anglers in Minnesota.
Correct. I apologize. Yeah.
That's okay.
And so I decided I wanted to learn more. And I said, I know I can catch bigger than 0.38. And so I started my ice fishing with that and watched a lot of YouTubes, a lot of YouTubes,
Mhm.
and just watched a lot of guys doing it. There isn't a whole lot of women out there that that I could look up to, right? So part of that Women Anglers of Minnesota, we got together and we'd go out and just kind of figure this stuff out to ourselves. And then I would take that information and apply it to what I would do. And then when it came summer, I applied that stuff to summer, and I just started gaining more and more knowledge. And
Nice.
I tested myself. I never like, will you do this for me? Like, nope, move. I'm going to do this. First time I went muskie fishing, he's like, here, I'll bait it for you. I'm like, nope,
That's
give
like
it to me.
Tara.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
go for it. If you don't,
Yeah.
you don't learn. So I decided
true.
that I wanted to do all that and gained more knowledge. And then I became a youth director at WHAM. I wanted to teach the youth. Awesome. I did many tournaments, virtual tournaments, got kids signed up for those. And also would go out and help Girl Scouts. These girls would come out. There's 12. Okay, wait till your daughter goes to Girl Scouts and shows up, and they're like, "Ew, I'm not going to touch that." There's 12 of them
Yeah.
that are
Oh,
not going to
man.
do it. There's
Yeah.
no way I'm touching it. I'm not baiting it. I'm not holding it. By the time we got done with it, they were holding it like, "Miss Amy, here,
Oh,
cute. I can bait it," and the thank you cards and stuff like that. That was what it's all about
Yeah.
for me. So, then I was done. I resigned from that and just kind of moved on. I ended up joining the UPL.
Yep.
Decided I'm going to push myself a little more.
That's big
Ultimate
time.
Panfish League.
Yep.
That's big time.
Yeah, with your former
Guest.
guess.
guest,
Yeah.
Andrew Walker.
Andrew's great.
yeah,
Andrew's
He's a
fun.
great
snacks,
man.
snacks.
Yeah.
Guy always has snacks.
If
His
you guys are-
turkey.
If you guys are just jumping in here, we're talking with Amy Munsinger. She's a Clam Pro Staff, Vexilar Pro Staff, Relevant Pro Staff, Tuned Up Custom Rods Pro Staff. She is in studio today. If you guys are just joining, I just wanted to refresh that for everybody so you know what's going on. And so you've been doing a lot of fishing. I know when we talked to Tara and she said she wanted to have you on, I talked to you 2 years ago about coming in here, and it kind of just faded away, and we didn't end up having a lot of our guests on.
Rude.
I know.
Yeah,
I
rude.
told Tara that. I said I bailed last time.
I was like, wow, what did I do?
And I know Tara
Jeez.
was really excited to have you on. She looks up to you as another female woman angler, a strong one. And it's cool to see it's just really cool seeing the evolution of women coming into the fishing world,
It's
getting
awesome.
sponsors, and really being on their own,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
It's-
cool.
It is actually. When I did the UPL 3 years ago, I got asked by one of the other ladies. So it was just her and I, a women group, and I was like, okay, I'm fishing against some pretty tough anglers, and I was actually really intimidated. I was almost sick to my stomach the first tournament because I was fishing against.
So did you beat Ryman this year? I gotta ask.
Yeah, he got divorced
Oh.
from his partner. So yeah, I kind of beat him this year. But technically, I think if he would have stayed in, I think he would have got me.
Mm.
But yeah, he's good.
He went out to Kings of Panfish.
He
Did you
did.
fish that?
No, I was going
Sorry.
to, but it was my man's birthday. I had to make a better choice. Otherwise, I knew I'd gonna get in trouble.
Oh.
So I fished quite a bit, and so I kind of out and about more than I am with him. But
That is the exact opposite in my
Right?
household.
I mean, it's awesome. With that, we didn't do very well with the UPL, her and I, but it drove me. I mean, she told me it's going to take years. I mean, it's nothing that you're going to go in and just hammer it. And I took her advice and realized, yeah, it's going to. So last year I didn't do very well either, but we did well together as much as we could with what we had. My partner's stuff kept breaking, or I kept yard sailing all my stuff, and he had to stop and pick it all up. And then this year, finished 12th, which I thought, with my son, I did it, and I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
But it was
Yeah.
very expensive. I yard sailed my live scope.
Oh.
So yeah, that's got to be fixed.
Ouchie.
Yeah. Very
Ouchie.
expensive. Very expensive. But
What do you mean by yard sale?
yards, like on the
Everything flies out
Full
of your
send.
sled.
Yeah.
Oh,
with
behind
my
you.
wheeler. I don't think
On
you've ever seen my
blast off.
wheeler. Yeah.
That thing would be on my lap.
Strapped to your
Well,
person.
the back of my wheeler, I have a gate, and I click it and make sure it stays in there. And for some reason, my son and I got chatting, and I just took off.
Oh,
and
you
I-
had it on the wheeler though, not in the
Yeah.
sled?
No.
Okay, yeah. Sleds ruin everything.
Yeah, no. So it was protected, but I just forgot that one last step. And, so yeah,
That's
that
tough.
was
you forgot to pat it down and say that's not
No.
going
You'd
anywhere.
You'd be surprised what people lose and run over augers to
I'm
Andrew.
sure.
Pulling Andrew out.
We lost a lot of stuff going out to Apostle Islands. We were out at outer, like 20 miles out on Superior. With sleds?
Man.
We lost so much gear out the back of the sleds.
It's like,
We got it back, but we just could not keep anything contained, even with covers. It's just like sleds are so tough on, especially electronics. If you guys don't know, you always want to have them on your unit. Typically, they get bumped around, and I smashed my LX7. It's not
Oh.
good right now.
if
I
you
found
use a
that
hub,
out.
I always tell people too, especially if you have a hub, it
Put it-
helps pull the hub behind it, because then you get a really good trailer for it.
Yep.
And that way it's padded from the cover,
Hmm.
the material, so you can pad it and put it in between if you're going to go a long distance. But yeah, sleds are not good.
So when did you start picking up being a pro staff for certain companies, and what brought that about?
When I first did the UPL, Clam is a big sponsor of it. Matt Johnson Outdoors, and I talked about it, and being on part of Clam, and not having a whole lot of females, I think too might have helped. So I started doing that and just promoting their stuff, and absolutely love some of their stuff. You know, that's
Mhm.
part of our job, is telling them what we like and what we don't like. And
Yep.
then over the years, I've gotten to know a lot of people, and they like what I've done, what I do. I do a lot of stuff like at shows. I interact with people a lot. So
Saw me
it's,
last year.
yeah,
Bought my Vexilar.
yeah. So I mean, it's kind of, they see you and they kind of approach you and just have asked me. And it's actually today I was out at the Vexilar shoot, and they're getting ready for all their new media to go out to all the big retailers. So it's kind of cool. I got to fish with Dave Gens today and a couple of
That's
the
cool.
Chronicles boys and Matt Johnson. And
If you
his
guys are
son.
watching on the TikTok world, Dave Gens is one of the most legendary. He is the most famous ice fisherman in the world, in my opinion. I
They
mean, I've
call him
known
the
about him since I was,
Godfather.
yeah, he's the godfather
Godfather.
of ice fishing. He's part of Clam. They named fish houses after him. I used to have a Gens, an old Gens from like the well, maybe not that old, early 90s Gens. but still, no, she's you've been getting out with a lot of people doing photo shoots, and that's really, really cool.
Yeah,
Did you learn a lot today from him out there then, or?
We all kind of just fished a little bit on our own, just because we all were taking turns, getting our photos and stuff done. But he'll tell you. I mean, if you're doing something wrong, he'll tell you, or try it this way. Or today, he lost his his bag full of all his silkies and all his jigs. So I'm like, here, $10, and you can have it back.
That reminds me, I was out on this is kind of a funny story. We were out with a couple friends, and we got out to this lake. We were crappie fishing with tungstens, and this guy's like, dude, he's losing every tungsten jig I give him from pike. And I'm like, what the heck? So we got one on a tip up, and it had one of his tungstens in its mouth. And he's like, oh, sweet.
Got it back.
And he had his hand out, and I was like, no, it's mine now. You lost it. I didn't give it back.
No, I wouldn't.
He's
either.
my buddy, and it was funnier that I kept it.
Yeah, I've done that. I did that last summer with one of my girlfriends, part of a tournament. I was about hitting docks with Cincos, and I lost it. And like the bass took it. I just like, damn, that was my favorite color. You're down to your last 3 colors, and it's like you got 5 hours left of the tournament. So she's out there hitting on the shores, and she hits it and brings it in, and I'm like, yes, it was in its throat.
Oh my gosh.
So but yeah, it's a lot of fun with a lot of these companies. Just promoting them, just enjoying what they do and how they make these products, and
Promoting companies you really like is important.
I enjoy like seeing the new stuff that they're coming out with, and kind of getting to put our 2 cents in. Like on Norfin, they're working on a new suit. We got to do that after that last shoot. That was pretty sweet.
That's cool.
They've got some sweet stuff coming out.
Yeah, being you
just get to see a lot of inside stuff that people don't.
Yeah, and representing
It's-
companies you truly believe their product and you really use their product. There's a lot of to be realistic, there's a lot of company hungry fishermen out there that just want to be sponsored by every single person. And it's just the reality of fishing now with social media. More power to them, but when you can actually use and really support and really appreciate the product that you're supporting,
You got to back it.
and that'll sell things. And you can tell the people that are selling the most stuff for, being promotional staff or being partially sponsored or whatever the case is. It's the people that are out there saying, showing this stuff truly works and making people believe that it truly works. I mean, you can be sponsored by anyone or promotional staff for anyone, but if you're not using it or showing people that it works, what good are you to the company?
You got to be confident in it.
Yeah.
Your gear.
I voice it. I'll sell them exactly.
Right.
Like Relevant. They're coming out with more towards women, because I'm a little face, and they had these big old Google glasses. I look like Jackie O. I'm like, I look like a bug. So they're coming out with stuff. So that's why we're here. The companies can't see it, but we as consumers and want to let people know that, hey, we're coming out with some new stuff. So it's nice. It's nice to be able to voice that, hey, women need stuff too. So
they've been growing like crazy relevant.
Yeah, they
I
have.
love
I'm dropped once these Costas are done I'm done with Costa. Their warranty system's horrible now.
So just drop them. Just drop them now.
Just
let them go.
I should.
The ones
Let
that
'em go.
change from lighter to darker, those look
chameleon?
Yeah.
I had my Costas. I paid $300 for them, right? Glass lens, 580s, and I had them for 4 days. I was going out to Isle Royal on Lake Superior, which is a huge trip, 140 miles round trip in a boat just to get out there and back to where we went. And I went to Duluth to my buddies, and I was bending over to grab my bag off the cement. My head was 2 feet off the ground. Believe it or not, I can bend over that far. And they fell off my head and hit a pebble perfectly and shattered the lens.
Well, yeah, the glass.
They wouldn't cover it.
Are you serious?
Zero. They said you have to buy $180 for new glass lenses.
Yeah.
I had to buy both as a pair. That'll piss a guy off.
Yes. Another thing too with some of these companies too is their customer service, just like you say. A lot of these guys, I hear nothing but good things, between Clam and Relevant and, Tuned Up. I absolutely love John at Tuned Up. I broke a rod. He fixed it. I mean, I paid. Obviously, they still got to make money too. And
I've honestly
not
never held a
much.
tuned up.
oh,
I've never used one either.
Never held one.
I know people
Yeah.
that do.
I know a lot of people
People
that
love
stand
'em.
by them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never have.
I use a bullwhip. It's a 28. It's,
I've heard, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it just might catch me
Yeah.
out. I go to, and then I use, a ton of reels. It's just you go through what 10 to figure out which one's really comfortable
Yeah.
for you.
Mhm.
And I ended up using an elite spooler from Clam, and it's not expensive. You don't need $150 reel to go ice fishing. So
It's true.
and the fish don't know. So
They don't care.
no. So I mean, I've broken things before or said, I got a rip in something, and Clam's right there to help out, and that's all I hear. A lot of the customer service wise. So back to that, like you said with Costa, yeah, I've heard the same situation.
It's gotten worse over the years. They're
Yeah.
just not like they used to be.
I think they changed hands too.
I think they did get bought out, but there were I applied for their warranty, talked to someone on the phone, then I appealed their denial and they denied me again. I'm just like, I'm never buying glasses from you again.
No. Matthew Evans is really good. I mean, he's a good guy. He's on top of Relevant, and it's fun. I mean, that's a fun group too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I like about it. But with back to like getting sponsors and stuff like that, or not really sponsors, I'm more pro staff for them. Anybody would like to sponsor me.
That's what I say.
I love
I
that.
take Red Bull and snacks.
Well, at least you know. Yeah, at least you know the difference.
Mhm.
Some people don't.
Yeah,
I can-
no, there's a difference.
Yeah.
I could probably get a whole pallet of Lucky Charms.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and speaking of Lucky Charms, I got a little
Yeah.
Lucky
Yeah,
Delicious over there for
yeah.
your treats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I am. It's crazy. I just want to say the other day I was out working in Canterbury doing the turkey and deer show with Relevant, and I got approached by a company, and it was actually kind of cool to hear that they've been looking to want me to be part of it. So did my bio and sent all that in. I can't say it yet, but it's another nice
Dun,
one
dun, dun.
to be continued. So
Nice.
it's kind of cool to be as a woman being noticed more, that for not just look at
Not
me,
for the glam, but for the actual
but for
fishing
your-
itself.
work.
Yeah.
and just the same thing. It was really hard on the UPL. I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, I felt like I had to really prove myself. I wasn't like, hey, where are you fishing and what's going on and what are you using? I worked with, there was two guys that I would fish with, was Dave Thomas and then Pat Conroy. And we kind of worked together to a point and try and figure out, we've never been on some of these lakes. So we'd work together and do it. And then
Mhm.
I put the hours in. I mean, I just did French Lake down by me in Faribault. I spent, and I'm not kidding you, 5 days. I can't even tell you how many hours we put into that lake. And some people would just show up like the day before and then find fish because they sat and followed you. It's like,
Oh,
so, I mean, they
Yeah.
see that I'm there all the time, or, putting in my time. So, and people see that and respect that you're not just a girl, look at me, I can
Right.
fish with pole and I can hold up a fish and say I caught it when you didn't.
That's a whole nother story
Yeah.
there to talk about. We probably won't get into that
Yeah.
today,
No,
but I know what you're
no.
saying.
but I'm not putting that down. I mean, there are some, really good anglers, but it's frustrating sometimes when I see that some women don't put the time in. But
Mhm.
and
It's hard to tell now, like well, we don't have to talk
Yeah,
about it.
but no, but they are. It's growing.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
there's a lot of companies that are starting to put more and more stuff out towards women.
Like
Not just a-
DSG's, like
oh, big time.
yeah.
Yeah, I really like their hunting stuff, so I'll be working on that because I hunt too. So I usually wear Sitka, and not that I'm promoting
You're
that.
so
but
cheap.
Sitka, bro.
but you know what? Hang on, I'm frugal. Trust me, I'm frugal.
That stuff's really high quality though. So.
Yeah, it's called shopping in the bargain bin at Cabela's.
Yeah.
When they have your
Hey.
size, you buy it.
Yeah.
For like half price. But so yeah, I mean, it's the fun with the company. So it's not, like you said, I'm not sponsored, but I pro staff for them. But they see what I do, and so hopefully they will turn around and sponsor more that I do, because
Yeah.
I'll do more tournaments and stuff this summer.
Be an ambassador or be sponsored or whatever the
Mhm.
case may be.
Mhm.
But I mean, they take care of me. I mean, it's not like I just mean, they feed me. They feed me well. I mean, there's some scrumptious stuff.
So you're not just getting the 10% off,
No,
right?
no.
No.
But like I said, you just do a lot more tournaments and just kind of show yourself out there in the public. And I'd really like to start focusing a little bit more on kids, youth. I know someone was telling me like even the ladies at the nursing homes would love to go out. So like in the
Oh, my
summer,
heart.
That would be
to
awesome.
take them and put them in their wheelchairs,
Oh,
whatever
my
it takes
That's
to
so
go
cool.
here. I just think it would
That's
just be a
so cool.
blast because some of them did used to fish,
Yeah.
you
Mhm.
know, and they just sit there and stare out a window. So I would like to start doing more and more of that kind of stuff, you know, and promote that, get more people to do that. Not just, there's so many, I hate to say it, there's so many fishing tournaments that it would be fun to have some of these people go to, you
And
know?
that'd be really cool to do, is to start up a assisted living or a nursing home on a big property that you have a big pond in that's stocked with fish, and you can call like the outdoor something that's a nursing home, but where there's a path
The
around
reef.
it with like where they have like electric scooters, and then there's like fishing piers.
A scooter
Yeah.
boat,
Yeah.
a boater.
Yeah.
Now
The
we're
high
talking.
fence.
And then they have a
hunting,
staff.
too.
They have a
Yeah.
staff person that takes the elderly fishing while they're at the nursing home, and they want to go outside and throw a worm out.
I think it would be fun.
That's
I think
big.
it'd be a lot of fun. There's a lot when I was part of the.
I'd want to
I'm
go
a
there.
thinker. That's what I'm saying.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when you say that, like part of the youth director, we get a lot of donation requests. So I put together. There was a couple girls youth places up north, up by Bemidji, and we'd get them put tackle boxes together for them. And what do you want to say? Rods and like plastics and
All the
hooks
terminal
and
tackle.
all that stuff. Just their basic stuff to get them out on the water, and they couldn't appreciate it more. So it's just stuff like that. That's where I go. That's where my heart is. It's not where I want to go and I have to win a tournament.
Yeah.
I'm not about that. I want to know that even if I finish 9th or 5th or 1st or last, knowing that I put my heart and time into it means more to me than actually winning it. So that's how
No.
I think some people should look at it instead of
I
going, I
agree.
win every single day, every
Right.
tournament. But it's fun. I enjoy it. Learning all the different tackle that's out there too.
So tournaments this summer, are you doing what species? Bass?
I want to do bass.
Mhm.
There is a crappie tournament coming up. Memories Made.
Okay.
They raise money for vets, and so that'll be out, I believe, on Tonka end of
Nice.
April, and we do that, and it's a lot of fun. They raise a lot of money for vets, so they can take out vets. I'll do that, and then I'll just do like their local ones, just around here. Just to, like I said, if there's kids out there that like, hey, can I take you, or do you want to go, or there's a lot of parents that can't take their kids,
Right.
Oh yeah, there's a ton.
so I think it'd be a good idea to have something like that.
We used to have the
Mhm.
Scott County Take a Kid Fishing Day in Scott County, obviously. It used to be held on the river, and it was so cool. All the guys with the jet boats and the river boats
Nice.
would all meet up at the fairgrounds or wherever it would be, and we'd all be like, "Oh, you're gonna be with Luke. Luke, raise your hand. I'm a captain, so I'd raise my hand, and they'd be like, "You're gonna be with Adam and Steve. Little Stevie are gonna be with you." And there'd be like 40, 50 kids show up. Their parents would drop them off. Some underprivileged kids that can't afford to get stuff, and everyone gets a rod. Everyone gets a life jacket, and they get to take it home. Cabela's always sponsored the rod and the life jacket. We take them out all day long, and then there'd be like little competitions of who gets the biggest catfish. And now it's on the lake. Man, it was so much more fun. But it's for the kids, so all of us guys are like, God dang it, it's not on the river anymore. And we're like, we got to remember, it's not about us, it's about the kids. But now it was on Cedar they didn't have it last year because of COVID, but it's been on Cedar Lake, I think the most record, I think my friend John, he had 200 something crappies in like the 4 hours they were fishing, just trolling little jigs around on the weed edge. There's so many crappie in that lake, it's crazy.
On Cedar. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You can find the spot and just hunker down and
Yeah,
you're
but
done.
those kids couldn't be more appreciative. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't always have the gems. There were some kids that would you could tell they had troubled homes, and you just had to just smile and make them have as much fun as they possibly can. But overall, I mean, those kids just loved it, and you see them around town once in a while. Sometimes the kids that you took, and they're like, "Oh, I remember fishing with you a long time ago," and I don't want to age myself, but I've done it a while.
They'll definitely. You made an impact on those
Yeah.
kids. That's funny because back to Dave Michelson. He left his boat at my house for a while. It was just a 16-foot lawn boat.
Oh, he told me
Explorer.
about this.
And I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. I mean, I love Dave. Dave and I totally opposite people, but yet we're just get along so well. And he's funny. So he called me one day and he's like, hey, do you want a boat? And I'm like, what? He goes, there's a boat out there. Do you want it? And I'm like, you're kidding me. And he's like, no, because I know you would appreciate it. So he physically gave me the boat and trailer.
That's
and
awesome.
Isn't that nuts?
That's crazy.
So now I'm official boat owner. It is not the most beautiful, but it's mine.
Right.
Gets you out.
Oh, I know
A
how that
boat's a
goes.
boat.
Yeah.
Yep.
As we make fun of it, boat.
Minnesota.
Boat. But yeah, so we just had the motor worked on, and then there's one seat in it. So I'm gonna go out, and I added a couple more, and I'll probably wrap it because you gotta I gotta
Oh,
look
yeah.
professional.
Yeah.
Put some bones and skulls on there.
Oh,
Yeah. I
yeah.
try to
Yeah.
hide as much as possible. So I bought a camouflage boat.
Did you? You hide?
Yeah. I just hide.
You hide?
Try to. It doesn't work.
So you've been in a
No.
kayak up until this year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will still continue using it. I mean, I'll
Yeah.
go down the river right down here, which I would hope you guys will go with me someday.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so
On a kayak down the
no.
river.
I don't have
I
a
go in a
kayak.
kayak on the river.
I pass a lot of them.
I just get nervous in the river. I did go out and I did bring them down and I did hit some rocks. Like, okay, thump, thump. Yeah, that's not good.
Down
No.
here?
I forget where I was.
Were you on the Minnesota River?
Yeah.
Oh, you were Carver Rapids. We watched some guys get stuck on them last year.
Oh, jeez.
I've watched a couple of people like circle around and try and figure out how they're
Oh.
trying to get back down.
We had guys
after
that
they've come up with-
hauled their kayaks up the bank. Wasn't it me and you that were out there? And we're like, oh, you can run this chute and you got to cut over and then go down the next chute. I mean, it's fast
Yeah.
water. And they couldn't hear us because the water's too loud. And I was trying to yell at them, like, let your kayaks go and we'll grab them for you and then just run to the other side and we'll bring them to you. But they just carried them up the bank and it looked like a lot of work and it did not look fun. They had fishing stuff with them. But I've seen so many boats hit those rocks, especially last year.
Yeah, that'd be me.
Yep.
But yeah, it's learning electronics too. That's another thing. I mean,
Yeah.
they don't give you instructions. They're like, here, buy this product.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
buy this live
gosh.
scope. Buy this,
Getting them dialed in.
Yeah.
and-
So me and Tara saw something really cool. I want to have them on the podcast. It is a mobile app on your phone and you pay for a subscription they have all the companies for the graphs and you can get training on your phone on how to tune your graph to make it exactly how you want it for what you're fishing for. They have experts from the companies doing these videos and you can click on what you want. And I think they do even like one-on-ones. You can talk to people with the app.
Now they
sweet.
come out with it after
Yep.
you're
Yeah.
done.
Right. Right.
Well, I had to steal my boyfriend's bird, his Mega Live, and because like I said, I yard sailed mine. So I'm constantly asking a couple of the guys, hey, because they're out on the water, like, hey, will you show me real quick how to use it? Because it's hard to go from going from Garmin to Hummingbird.
I
I mean,
feel
it's
that.
totally different. But I mean, it's once you're kind of into it, it's not hard to learn. But there's the little things that you want to learn, and I totally agree. That's
It's a
an
lot
awesome
harder.
app,
It's a lot easier going from Bird to Garmin.
and they're not pretty pictures either. I mean, it's
Right.
not like you can just do it. It's
Yep.
it gets time consuming, but
Mhm.
it's you got to learn. I mean, that's just it.
Yeah,
You
that's
can't.
There's a lot of people that are underutilizing the graph they have, not having it the right settings that they need to have it on. Like I have a friend that works for Hummingbird, so when I had a bird, I would just call him, and he knew everything I needed to know all the time.
See,
But now I'm Garmin. I'm
Not
selling
all of
my
us have
Garmin.
I
that.
love my Garmin.
We got to get
I'm-
that app.
I don't hate my Garmin, but I really want a new 12-inch Mega real bad.
My friend just bought the 15.
From the show.
Gosh.
He bought
From-
he didn't from the show, but he bought a brand new boat, and that was one of the deal breakers. Put a 15. I'm like, dude, seriously, why don't you just put a 66 in there?
Oh
I
my
mean,
Yeah.
gosh.
I mean, why not? I mean,
Yeah.
the people across the lake or in the next boat over could just see where your marks
Right.
are. I'm
Right.
Like, come on.
Goodness
Yeah.
gracious.
That's true too.
But it's yeah, it's interesting. I'm really would like to see more and more women out there.
Mhm.
And don't be intimidated. I think that's another big thing. When I talk about tournament fishing, a lot of women are like, I can't do it. There's no way. I don't know how to do it. I don't have the gear. I don't have this. You don't need much.
Just send
Just
it.
send
go
it.
do it.
Send it.
That's what
Just
I was
drill
gonna
it
say.
and send it.
Yep.
It's
you
funny
know?
when it's kind of familiar with when I first started fishing with Tara. It'll be what this year winter was 2 years. We just started fishing a lot together in the last year though. And I was like, just so you know, I'm a yes man. I said, if you want to do something, I'm gonna buy plane tickets, or we're just gonna do it. And like the other day, she's like, I really want to catch a white sturgeon. And I was like, well, when do you want to go to Idaho? And I was like, okay, I got tickets. She's like, what? She's like, you're kidding. I was like, no, we're leaving the 20th.
Hey Tara, do you want to go catch peacock bass in Florida?
Yeah.
When are we leaving, Luke?
Oh, God.
I got hookups down there.
Yep.
I have about 20 rods and reels in Florida waiting for me.
Yep.
I'm working that. Let me work it a little.
And my friend just bought a bait drop drone. So he's one of my Vikings player friends. He just bought the something Splash 4 drone. It holds 5 pounds and it floats and takes off from the water, and it drops your baits out in the surf up to a mile out, so you don't have to
Are you
kayak baits
serious?
out. Oh, it's gonna be awesome.
Wouldn't you be like considered cheating? And it's not real fishing. You
No,
know?
no.
No.
You ever kayak shark baits out?
No,
It's not fun.
I
'cause you
wouldn't
gotta-
be into shark.
You got to break the break waves first, and usually you tip over before you get out there. So now you just fly baits out, hit the button, and it'll drop your bait straight down. That's the ticket.
Crazy. No.
Yeah, I just saw a TikTok of that. A guy had like a little motorized boat bringing
Yeah.
shark bait out there.
Yeah, there's a few ways people do it, and I've tried kayaking, and my little friends that are way smaller than me, skinny little guys, they were flipping over out there too. I was like, "There's no way," because I'm not getting back on the kayak. My fat ass is gonna be swimming with my kayak trying to get back without the tide, and like they're struggling to get back on this crappy kayak that has no stability. And I'm like, that's like the worst enemy of a fat guy, an unstable kayak. Can you imagine?
Well, there's one of the gals I'm sure you heard, but Christine Fisher. She is like an amazing kayaker.
Correct.
Bass. I watch her, and I would be nervous to even stand on a kayak.
Yeah.
I can't. Mine. I sit in mine because I would still be nervous to still flip it. And I just the way she yanks on those bass in, I can't believe she doesn't fall over into the
Mhm.
water.
What do you run for a kayak?
Mhm. I just have a little 10-foot Moen, but I got it at Gander when it was on. It was $800. Here I'm being frugal. I bought it for like $275.
Right.
But they didn't
Hell
realize
yeah.
that there the seats and the paddle, was supposed to be separate, but I got that for free.
See?
So I got it all.
Hey.
Thrift
Nice.
shopping.
Hey.
So
Can't beat
it's
that.
hard. Short story long. I know it's a little personal, but I breast cancer survivor, so I can't lift anything really heavy. So I can't lift like a 12-foot kayak. It's too hard.
Yeah.
So I have to be weight. So I have just a little guy, and I would really love to go bigger. But
Were you at the show, the Northwest Sports Show?
No.
Okay. So Luke and I were walking and we saw these kayaks that looked just like, what are kayaks made out of? Plastic? Something?
Yeah.
It looked
Rotomold.
like, it looked like just
Rotomold.
a
Yeah,
regular
Rotomold.
two-
Made out of
person-
mud.
kayak. And so Luke and I just walked over to it or whatever, and I like looked closer, and it was inflatable, and it was by Paddle North, and I was mind blown. And when I tell you, remember when Shelly was here and
I talked to Chewy about this already.
she was talking about her inflatable kayaks, and in the back of my mind I was like, hell no, I'd
What?
never be on an inflatable kayak. But these Paddle North kayaks were so like heavy duty, and guess how much it weighed? 29 pounds.
Get out.
Isn't that what
Inflated
she
or
had where
with
paddle
air or
boats?
Yeah,
without?
she doesn't. Yeah. No, with well, I suppose both. Air
Yeah,
doesn't
and
weigh, air doesn't weigh anything.
And Shelly said like she can stand up in
Oh,
her.
was that a blonde thing?
And she
I'm
can
sorry.
she can stand. You can stand up in them, and they're super stable.
Yeah.
They have the double that's 32 pounds, and they're so durable.
And it's
And
just in a backpack.
He said it's
Shut up.
really,
Yeah.
really hard to get a hook through them, and he said if you do, it's an easy fix.
Yep.
But they're so sturdy and well made. It's
Yeah,
great.
it was.
They're not
unbelievable.
cheap.
Oh,
They're
boy.
$1,100.
Well, but
or
that's
no.
but kayaks
Yeah, 1100.
nowadays
The
are that
2-up
expensive.
was.
The 2-up was $1,100.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'd use it for tournament fishing because that's all. If you're only fishing and a lot of tackles in your kayak, you probably don't want an inflatable kayak.
Right.
That's what I would think right away.
They also just made a
Yeah.
rotomold this year. They had it at the show.
Really?
I don't know how stable it is. I don't know if it's as stable as like a Hobie, but I don't know.
It's funny
Those
because if you
Hobies
guys,
look sweet.
yeah,
They're also $5,000.
that's just it. That's the reason why, and they're also very heavy.
yeah,
Yeah.
Just go
extremely
buy a
heavy.
nice boat for
So
that
it's funny
price.
because you
Yeah.
laugh at my kayak. I don't know if you saw a picture of it. It is like all decked out. So I got my Lowrance 9 Elite or my Elite 9 TI on there. So it's all up there.
Fancy.
Then my man got me because he was mad at me or got tired of watching me struggle going down the Namakogan. So he bought me a water snake. So now I got a trolling motor.
That's sweet.
Now I got a paddle. And then I
Nice.
got all my fishing gear in the back. I mean, it's just, I'm like, I might as well just buy a boat, right?
Right.
And then Dave
Yeah.
gives me that one, and I'm like, okay.
Oh,
Now I don't want to give it up.
awesome.
But the water snake, it was hilarious trying to learn how to use that. You would have died on the river because I kept going in circles, like in circles, and I couldn't figure out like being coordinated because it's right here, and so you're trying to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a decked out fishing kayak. I sold it to Nicole Huddleston, actually.
She's in the chat,
Yeah,
I think.
Is Nicole in
Nicole.
here?
She might still
Nicole.
be in
She
here. I
owns
don't know.
my kayak, my old kayak
She
now.
does.
Yeah, I had what did I have? A Garmin, the small Garmin with GPS, or no, it was a Lowrance. I don't know. No, it was a Garmin, the Strike, small one. And then I had rod holders on it. I had
Cool.
anchors, anchor line. I had everything on there, and I gave her a heck of a deal.
She's good. She's good.
I wanted it gone. I was too big for that thing. I
Were
fished
you-
out of it fished out of it once and hunted out of it twice in 4 years. I
Oh, what?
owned it.
Did you ask her how many times she's been in it?
Probably not. I don't think she had
I don't
been
think she
yet.
is.
Oh,
She's
man.
too busy on the shore.
Right.
And I don't think when she gets that muskie, it's gonna pull her around.
Right.
I don't know. When she latches into that big one finally.
Yeah,
If
she's
she
been
ever-
itching for it. That's all she's talked
Yeah,
about.
no.
Oh, I remember.
Bless
that
her
now.
heart.
We'll get her. We'll get her. We'll get her. I
Bless
haven't gotten
her
one
heart.
either.
Oh, really?
Mm-mm. I had one follow, and my arm the next day I couldn't even move it.
I told Tara.
Oh, from casting.
Oh my gosh.
So when I
I don't know
took
how you guys
Tara
do it.
muskie fishing, I was like, "We're gonna catch you your first big pier strain." We went out to Orchard. They're not Orchard. We went to Harriet, pulling suckers in the fall. Of course, the day we go out there, it is brutally windy, and we had one on the sucker, and it dropped it. But if it would have been nice out, I think we just couldn't control where we wanted our bobbers to where I wanted them to be because you got to pull them really slow. And I had to angle the whole time with my trolling motor because I'm on like 1 or 2 power, and I have a 20-foot boat. It's huge, and I'm trying to keep the boat from not going into the weeds to pull my bobbers in. It was just really, really hard. Bait control's giant when you're pulling suckers that close to a weed edge, but it was fun.
Yeah.
A lot of
Still a good
ducks.
time.
A lot of ducks.
Good photographs.
A lot of bird watching.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, and we got to watch people. This was in
Yeah.
what time of year?
Late October.
Late October, right before muskie ended. There's a group that came out in bikinis and swimsuits and were jumping
in the
Harriet.
water. Hippies.
They must
style.
not
I
have
don't
been
know.
Minnesotans.
I mean, it's
though.
Minneapolis.
Yeah, it is true.
I was shook.
Yeah,
I was-
That's uptown.
Tara got
Yeah.
a TikTok of it actually.
Well, yeah.
It's hilarious.
Because I was shook. I was like, what the heck?
Are they going in? Yeah, it looks like they're going in.
And they stayed in. stayed in
No,
there.
thanks. No,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
good.
saying.
Like they were legit
Yeah.
going swimming.
But there's there's a lot of things I think a lot of women get intimidated by not learning how to do or can't do. They feel like they can't tie knots, they can't figure out jigs, they can't figure out baits. Like if they walk in here and go, I'm going sunfish, what do I use? And they pull out a big old Rapala, and you're like, no. So I mean, I think they're intimidated to ask those questions.
Yep.
And it's funny because I'll be at Shields and I'll be standing there, and my man, he laughs at me. So we'll be standing there and I'll be looking for some stuff that I forgot. And I see people struggling, and I just can't do it. I just like, I walk away, Amy, walk away, walk
Yeah.
away, walk
Yeah.
away. I can't. And seriously, I will walk away and I just do it about face and I'll come back. And I'm like, okay, what are you fishing for? What do you need?
Yep.
Like, that's how I learned. That's how I learned from a lot of these guys. Like, I don't know how to fish for sturgeon. I don't know how to fish for catfish. What do I do? So I end up sitting there helping them for like 5-10 minutes. And
I love doing that.
it's and actually they sit there and they kind of looked at me like, who the heck are you?
Mhm.
Like, or
Yeah.
anything. And I'm like, well, I'm not real person like, oh, I'm with Clam.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm pro staff with Clam. I just know the products. I'm not just selling these. And I also showed them other stuff too. I mean, we don't all just use just their products, obviously.
Right.
But you kind of want to show them that, but they just are very helpful. Like they just stand there in awe. Like some girl just showed me how to get all that stuff.
Oh, I love that.
You know, and it's kind of it's empowering a little bit, but
Mhm.
you know, you see other women too, and you want to do that for them as well, or they're struggling how to tie a knot. So that's kind of what
Yeah.
it's about, just helping each other and empowering. So I'd like to see more of it. Actually, I think it'd be a lot of fun. I think it'd be fun to do a girls podcast, Tara.
Oh,
I agree.
Yep.
I'll
I
watch.
agree.
real
I would
fun.
watch.
And
I
you
mean,
can have
I
us
think
as guests.
We totally
You have it
could.
here on Wednesdays at 7 o'clock.
Wednesday, 7 o'clock. Tara and Amy.
Yeah, yeah.
A little TNA.
That's funny.
But I mean, it'd be nice because a lot of, like I said before, they get intimidated. They don't want to ask questions, and I have no problem walking up to, like I did to Waldron today. He was on fire. He was catching fish, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna break down right now. What are you using? He's like $10 and you can buy one of my jigs. I'm like, no, just go and get me one and help me. And he's just like that. I mean, I'll ask. Most people were like,
Right.
okay.
Matt's
Yep.
just a good guy.
Yep.
Oh, general,
Yeah.
all of them
Yeah.
are. I mean,
Yeah.
Griff and all those guys are a lot of fun, and you know they take time to teach you. So that's what it's about. So
I've picked their brains a few times in Messenger.
I think you're probably not the only
Oh, no,
one.
I
I'm
can't be
sure
the
in
I
the
only
picked his
world.
brain when I saw his video. I was like, "Did you find that lake, backwater lake crappie fishing from watching my video?" He's like, "I promise we didn't."
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
He just randomly went there. How fair? That's fair.
But I think
I
it's-
wouldn't have cared,
But I think it's pretty cool what they're doing, and I would love,
Yeah.
you know, just like I said, a podcast for women just to come in and be asked, even not just about fishing. I mean, I started hunting too. I went hunting last year, which is crazy, and sat there 2 days, watched my deer. I didn't shoot because it was too far. I wasn't comfortable, and then I went home for a day because I had to do something. My man sent me a picture and said,
Oh,
"Oh, it's still
God.
here. It's still here. You know, it's waiting for you." And the next day, his best friend shows up and shoots it.
No.
So you know, just to have kind of fun things to talk about, not
Yeah.
just fishing too. So,
we're gonna look at some of your pictures.
oh my, kissing
Really
fisher,
good one.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm
my
ready.
kissing one.
There it is.
That's today, right?
That no,
Oh.
that was a UPL tournament. That was on French, the lake from, can I say it, from hell.
How big was that
You
walleye?
French still
That-
a fish on French.
That yeah, right.
Oh,
That's a perch, and
Yeah, yellow perch, right?
yellow, yeah. But with that, honestly, it looks small there, but that is my personal best. That's a 14 1/4.
Oh wow.
It looks small, and I'm hiding because I don't want anybody else to
Yeah.
see. 'cause
Looks-
we're
I
in an
love
area.
Looks really small.
It
Just kidding.
does, yes. But we're in an area that nobody was with us, so we didn't want to
Oh.
give it away because everyone would have.
Ooh,
Now
that's a
this-
nice white.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, it
today.
is.
Actually, I'm gonna say it. Waldron caught the white one. I just want to look pretty with it,
Yeah.
and then mine's on the other side. I
This-
didn't want to go up there with just one fish.
Look at that sheepy.
And that's on
Yeah.
French too. I thought I was bringing in a big old crappie, and I'm like,
Did you
"What
eat
is
it?
No.
Oh, you should have.
Oh, ew.
I made a video. It's one of my biggest videos on my YouTube channel. They're really good, especially probably on the ice. I've never had one through the ice.
I bet they would be good.
But I could imagine. Well, they eat everything walleye are eating. I mean, when I ate
I've
that,
always
I
caught
ate
'em
one.
targeting walleye.
I ate one. I cooked it right on my boat. I had a butane burner. I had oil, a pan. I cooked it right in my boat after I caught it. It was delicious.
That's what some people were saying.
Yeah.
I mean, even white bass. I mean, Matt was like, I'll keep them. I'm like, ew.
I'd
white
rather eat a
bass? And he's like,
sheephead.
it's good.
I would rather eat a sheephead than white bass.
Really.
See,
Yep.
I'm the other one. I'd rather eat a white bass.
You never had sheephead. I'm gonna make you some this year, though.
I got
Mhm.
tricked though.
Nathan.
I got tricked a couple weeks ago. We had a meal cooked for us on the ice, and it's crappie, it's good. Found out today, white bass.
Oh,
Or was it?
I
Shysted.
thought you were gonna say buffalo.
It was white bass.
I
No, it
apo-
was white bass.
No,
Okay,
I
next picture.
apologize. It was actually.
Oh, that's a nice bite.
Hey.
So that's my second biggest fish ever.
Second biggest.
Meaning I've never.
Oh.
Meaning I've never caught anything big like that before. Meaning a pike. So that's my second. I'm like a muskie. I'd love to get a muskie.
Did you weigh it or just measure it?
We were in Canada. That was the first time I was in Canada, and
Wow.
I just that morning after the sunrise came up, we were trolling, and I latched onto that thing, and I brought it in, and I swear I peed my pants,
Oh.
and I was lit for hours.
Oh, I bet.
And then I don't have any up there, but we were catching smallies. Like within 3
Nice.
hours, we've caught probably over 20. It was just unbelievable how
Mm.
many.
Was it flying or what? Were you...
No, we drove up and then stayed on a houseboat
Oh,
out in the bay.
Oh, that's so cool.
Sweet.
Do you know what's
Hell
even
yeah.
funnier? So we're out in a bay and we're coming in, and all of a sudden we see a boat coming to us, and we're like, okay, what? It's like 6 o'clock. Their DNR were looking for us. They found out we were out there, and they put us through the ringer. Like,
Oh,
what's
gosh.
this? What's that? They measured our fish. And,
Yeah.
I mean, they were on it. It's like, really? But they didn't find nothing. So I'm like, well, thanks for the travels of.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So it's been fun. I was just a bass fisher for a long time. Now I've really been intrigued with all these different species.
Yeah.
That's catfish. I just been doing channel. I haven't gotten a blue one.
Or a flathead.
Or flathead.
Oh.
You have to come with me and Tara some night.
Yeah.
So and that's where Dave hooked me into it. I needed to get master anglers. We earn pins through Women Anglers in Minnesota, and I think I have like 14 now. And that pushes you to just try different species. And so he took me down, and we went down to the river and took me out catfishing and carp fishing and all this stuff. And I'm like, who catches this stuff?
That's
and I'm
so
like,
fun.
It's fun.
I'm
Yeah.
hooked now. It's
Yeah.
just absolutely. And now the pike and
You know, that's how me and Tara started catfishing together. She wanted her
My pin.
pin for flathead, and we got it the first night,
yeah.
and she was hooked ever since.
Isn't it
It was-
just crazy?
It's
So
like
fun.
35-pound flathead,
Holy.
and she got it right away. I was like, put your bait right there. She put her own bait out, dropped it right behind the boat, and that thing just hammered it, and she was so hooked right there.
Kind of speaks to what you said. Like, I didn't know anything. All I know is I wanted to catch one. So luckily I found Luke.
Well, and then some people are
Lucky
like, well, I don't
you.
want to learn
Lucky
from a
me.
man. Well, you do.
Yeah.
There's no way I could have done some of the stuff without some of the men. teaching us.
Right. Right.
I miss that.
He
Were
said
you-
it's beautiful.
Oh, geez.
Beautiful, crazy.
Shut up, Dan.
God, you're just so
We made a
funny.
duet singing, me and Tara, on TikTok, and he's mocking us.
He can't stop thinking about it.
I was scrolling on break today, and I was dying.
Oh,
we're
Dan.
gonna remake that video.
I'll make it right now. You want me to go?
No, I don't want to hear you.
She's beautiful.
I'll show you after.
Oh,
So this was
dang.
It's a good bag.
this is Billy from Billy Rub Baits, and he asked me to come out and do a tournament with him, and I think we came in fourth. We brought home the big money, the $100.
That's nice.
Hey.
It was a lot of fun learning that. He actually right there, I am soaked. He was tied up somehow, and another rod was going in the water. So I went after the rod, and then he was bringing in a fish, I forget what it was. Anyways, I ended up going over to catch his rod, and I wanted to make sure that didn't lose it, 'cause those things are expensive.
Mhm.
And so he's laughing at me because it's like 4 feet of water, and I'm like completely drenched and caught these. Yeah. Anyways, it's just the stuff you do is
Did
just
you get
fun.
the rod?
Yeah, we got the rod, and he saved the fish.
There
so
you go. There you go.
But just to be asked to go and do stuff like that it's kind of nice to be
It's
asked.
fun.
Oh
Dude,
yeah.
Are you ready
It's a
for
lot of
this?
fun.
Yeah, I want to see what it says.
Okay, here we
Who
go.
is it?
Oh,
Your favorite. And
Time
by the
to-
way, Corey, you only get about how many?
Time
How many are we gonna get him? 50?
Time to
Before we
flex
time
the
him
fingers
out?
and stir the pot. Catfish are over. Do you watch your damn tone, Corey? For one,
first
is-
off, Gramps.
our time to talk now. You're not here.
Yeah, Billy. I love Billy. Billy's that's another thing. Like, I just try different things. If you run out of stuff, I ran out of crawlers. I mean, what do? I didn't know what else to do. So I'm digging in my tackle box or tackle bag, whatever. And he has his own baits. They're protein infused. And so I'm like, I got to come up with something. And then he's got a Billy Rub night crawler. And it's just a rub that you put on your baits. And I cut off one of the baits because it looks like a ball. And I just doused it with this stuff. And I started I put on the circle hook, put it out there, and I caught catfish with it. So, I mean, you also learn to improvise stuff too. Just,
Oh, 100%.
you don't have to just use just that jig, but
Mhm.
So that's like pike fishing. You can use hot dogs,
is that
Yep.
crazy?
and they work great. People,
never
there's
done it,
still people
but-
that think it's like just it's a joke, like they'll eat anything. No, like I use hot dogs on tip ups.
That's crazy.
Fun
work.
dogs from Quick Trip.
Fun dogs are exactly what you use
Those
too.
are expensive.
The dollar dogs, the dollar ones, cheap ones,
Some cheap wieners.
right, Chewy?
That's some cheap
Sure.
wiener.
Chewy likes cheap wieners.
But
Spicy.
All right.
Yeah, just getting out, just going out and
You're
go out
like,
and try.
you're
to-
like-
Why do we always have something
you
like that
are
happen?
like
Trying to wake
literally-
him up over there. He hasn't said a damn thing.
You're literally like one comment away from getting banned on TikTok.
Oh,
Literally. No
Are you
bullshit.
banning me?
I will have to open my mouth.
Jesus, we always need a little bit of Jesus in us.
Jesus, take the wheel.
I'll talk to you guys. Well, I'm so quiet right now, but something going on. Anyways,
Something
okay.
bad?
I'm listening.
Are we
Okay.
good?
We're good, but I want to make sure we're still good. So you guys just keep rolling. You guys are doing great.
Oh,
Yay.
something's
This is the reason
happening.
why I didn't want to. I wanted to just be on the.
What did I do? What did I say?
You guys are fine.
Does my hair look okay?
Not that you're,
I mean, do I
beautiful.
smell?
You are beautiful. Don't worry about it.
Do I
You'll
get
probably
to
get
know?
more sponsors after this one.
Man, what did you put in those Lucky Charm bars?
Oh my gosh.
Only Andrew Walker knows.
Anyways,
Oh, man.
real quick, let's just say hi to all the.
Hello, mother.
Is my
Yeah,
mom
Ted.
out there?
Hello, Luke's mom.
Oh, Ted Ellenbecker.
Ted Ellenbecker's in the
Damn.
house, flathead catfish expert. He's got I don't know, 17 world records,
Holy, really?
something like that. Yeah, he's got a lot of muskie world records for line class.
Hey, Tara,
think
do you
most
want to
of
go
them-
with the world? Do you think
I
you can
do.
Luke could get us there?
Most of my
I
world
do.
record, I think muskie is what hit most of his are.
Dog Green Fishing.
Aren't you
Thanks,
the world
James.
record in Wisconsin right now?
That's not a world, that's a state. Same difference though.
All right.
Same difference.
WW.
That would have been a state record too, but I didn't have my Nebraska license when I caught it.
Oh, just kind of stuck it underneath your arm and
I
brought it
mean,
home.
Two state records technically.
Wow. Well,
How
I'm
impressive
surprised.
is that, right?
I'm kind of surprised that.
how would you even get that home? Did you even?
You stop it.
That's
Have you ever
the-
done? Have you ever done noodling?
No.
No, I
no,
don't want
I never
to.
will.
I think that'd be creepy.
No, I don't want to pull fish off their nest. That's just weird to me.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
They're in the okay.
I don't want to stick my hand in a snake hole
Yeah, I would think that's
or a
You
turtle.
don't want to find
Right,
a big,
there's turtles in
big
there.
alligator snapper.
My friend went to go do that in Tennessee, and he stuck it. Well, they set up barrels, I guess, or they'll make boxes, and then
Yeah,
they'll be in there.
They know where
So
they're
they
gonna
know where
be.
they're at.
okay.
Well, apparently a snapper went in that one. Yeah.
Oh,
If you
not
look
good.
at some of them guys
Not
that
good.
noodle a lot,
He's no
they're
longer with
missing,
us.
like tips of fingers.
Yeah,
and
some of
stuff.
them are.
Goodness.
Tips
Yeah.
are no longer with us, but yeah, then
Mm.
it turned into a big.
I would-
Problem you have is a lot of the time it's not they cut your finger off because they usually won't cut it off, but they'll
No.
drown you.
Oh,
That
pull
was a
you in,
problem.
pull
What?
You
in.
can't get your hand out of their mouth and you're dead.
Out of a turtle's mouth?
That's
So,
where the
yeah.
problem
You
lies.
can't
Yeah,
just-
they're
Oh,
not
hell
little.
no.
I could
They
bite.
get stuck.
They're-
They jam themselves, and they have these huge claws. And when they bite down on you, they lock. They have legit lockjaw, and they'll just claw and stamp themselves down, and they'll drown people. That's the problem.
Wow.
I talked
Yeah.
to a noodler down south, and he said when the water's cold, you get your hand out of there fast because, like, the catfish will keep the tail moving and
Yep.
it circulates it. But if it's a snake or a turtle, it's cold and you bail.
That's a
Right.
hard no.
Ew, that's a hard
Yeah.
pass for me.
And after that,
Yes.
I'm like, all right. I'm
Yeah,
good.
so that I could talk about it, right? I mean, it's
Talk about what?
8 years ago about what happened. I don't have to mention names, right?
About the
About
finger?
the dude.
No, we're not talking about it.
Okay.
You're messing with me right now,
No,
Not about that.
What are you?
no, I'm talking about
bro.
my story. Anyway, so he's taking sand in there.
Oh,
Turtle grabbed it. The guy that's supposed to be there taking care of him went to go
What?
take care of the other guy. Well, this guy wasn't coming up.
Oh no.
So the reason why he found out something was bad is because his foot, you know, he floated up in the air and his foot was sticking out. So then he's yanking on him, and that's how he got it. Yeah. So it was bad.
So yeah, there's. Well, I mean,
So
this
he-
stuff can happen to people. I mean,
And-
not just that.
And
Anything
what they're
can-
saying
I
is
didn't
that
even know that was a
when they
thing.
dropped the box down, they probably dropped it on the turtle because there was no way for him to go under there unless he dug himself in. But there was no way. So when that box is pretty heavy because I know some of them weigh him with a lot of.
Did it
lead.
exit him?
A lot of lead. It just I pulled him.
Did it take him away for good?
No.
He's okay. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean,
Are you gonna be okay?
Are you okay? Do you need a tissue?
I'm a little toe
I
up
mean,
too, man.
Chewy's kind of stressed out right now. I
Yeah.
can't wait to hear what it's about.
Yeah.
He's all flustered.
Well, it's just like back to like we were talking about. I'll change your something.
you.
My little bit of Jesus in me. But, praise the Lord. Hallelujah. So I mean, it just be fun to get some more stuff out for women more, and I think it's by the next year or so. I think it's gonna take off. I think for sure next year for ice fishing and stuff. And children, I think I love again just to keep pushing that. I'd like to put more rods in the kids' hands. Even if they're used or not, I don't care. I'm gonna start asking. I think I don't want people's junk. You know, I got this old Zepco which I get the closed ones are awesome because little kids can't ruin Oh, I did that with the Girl Scouts with open reels. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
a mess. I'm like, toss,
Yeah.
toss.
I've helped out with some of the future anglers in Minnesota.
Oh, I remember that,
Yeah.
It was
Scott.
like
Yeah.
we had some open-faced ones, and they
And that-
definitely needed some TLC after.
Yeah. And that's definitely an awesome group,
It's
which I would
fun.
like. I felt bad. I didn't get to help as much this year. And I'd like to go and help them a lot more. Now that I haven't decided yet. I haven't decided if I'm going to do the UPL again. It took a lot. I mean, I'm still recovering from all those tournaments, and it seems like you won't, but it's draining. It takes a lot of your time out. And
You guys had not good conditions this year too. Like it was just tough.
Like
As far as
Chisago,
slush and-
yeah, it was slush, and I have a big 850 high lifter, and my radiator's up on top, so I can go through anything.
Well, that's nice for the snow.
Yeah, I mean, I can pretty much, like I said, we pulled out, you saw the picture, we pulled out Andrew on his, because I don't know how he was trying to send that over what he was going. We're like, what are you thinking? So, I mean, it goes from really slushy. And we didn't really have the cold conditions. Last year, we were on Tatanka. It was -20 with -30 below wind chill, and we still
Ish.
fished. And it was brutal. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't as bad as that, but it does take a toll on you. So I'd like to do a lot more volunteering, like with FAM and the Future Anglers in Minnesota, and help promote them more, because they're just doing a fabulous job with these kids.
That's
All right,
awesome.
we got a
They're-
comment here.
Getting a
And
lot
also,
of
if you
big
guys have any,
groups.
before we close the podcast today, if anyone has any questions on either TikTok or on YouTube or Facebook, make sure you put them in the questions for Amy or for us. If you have any questions, make sure you get them through before we end the podcast today. Shout out to Amy for the hospitality in the UPL League towards my son and I, the Juice Boys.
Aw.
The Joes, yeah, they were awesome. Mom and dad. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
no.
Father and son team. They did awesome. They were out there. I laughed at him. One day he left early. The dad
Oh,
left
is
early.
that James?
And he
Is that
no, we're not
James?
talking about the 360, Amy. No. So he forgot his pants, and then he forgot his jacket, and then he forgot all his stuff. But you know what? I mean, I think his son's like 8 or 9, and it was just awesome to see those two together. I fished with
Yeah.
my son, and he fished with his
Yeah.
son. So just to see these anglers coming up and wanting to do that, and especially spending the time with his kids, they did a great job. I mean, they brought in some fish. I mean,
James they had a good season this year.
just for their first year and doing that. So the 360 was, yeah, whatever.
I'm so curious.
So again, like we're talking about the conditions. So on it was French. There was just ice. I mean, there was barely any snow. I mean, nobody was getting around unless you had spikes or what do you want to call it in your tracks?
Studs.
Studs, thank you. Or chains. And the thing about you couldn't really have chains because you scare the fish. It's all you would hear. So so at takeoff or third flight out, and I barely hit the throttle, and
Oh, yeah.
so my son and I and we have a sled on the back too. So and then I
Oh,
go to
man.
try and correct it, and I'm trying to push towards a little piece of snow. Well, I can't correct myself, so I end up doing it again. So it's like I'm doing this in front of everybody,
Oh,
and
man.
it's live, and so now my nickname's Donuts. So it's like
It's not a horrible nickname.
no,
though.
It
I
could
was
be
waiting for
worse.
worse. But you know, it was you got to leave it somehow. You got to leave with a big old bang, and it is
That's
what
one
it
way
is.
I
to do
love
it.
Yeah.
That's great.
But yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
So we had Andrew Walker in the house.
Full send.
Yeah,
Corey-
he did full send it.
Corey wants to start a t-shirt business.
Oh,
and
boy.
his
What?
son's 10.
Okay.
He's 10. Oh, he is. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember how old he was, but good angler, good kid. There was another father and son team there too. And I think he was a little older, but they did well. I mean, for the ones that showed up, we had some teams that didn't show up this year, which was kind of a drawback because it was such a good tournaments, the competition with everybody.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
my nephew's 9 years old. He's all about fishing. I mean, he was gonna go with me. We were gonna go with my brother and him. They were gonna come with on Sunday for the Northwest show. He says, "I'd rather go fishing. I got these lures I got to test."
Cute.
That's funny. Wonder who he learned that from.
And
Yeah, that sounds
I offered him
familiar.
$50 to spend. His other uncle offered him $200 to spend, and he says, "I don't know. We got to be at the lake. If we leave at 8, we could be there for 6 hours before I have to go to practice." And that's what they did.
Oh,
That's
That's
hardcore.
sweet, though.
Kids got a plan.
Goals.
It's good to see.
But it's hard. But it's
I'm tearing up over here.
when I go to any I have to leave my purse in the car. It's like eye candy going in the store. It's like, ooh, shiny. Ooh, shiny.
yeah,
Look
yeah,
at this
yeah.
one. Ooh, can this one do? My tackle, my son already claimed my tackle bag, and my daughter's like, well, I don't want it. I go, do you not realize what I have in this bag?
That's big money.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. If you lost it, it's like
yeah.
But yeah.
It's a lot to replace it.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I try and stay at those sparkly spots.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you coming in today.
Yeah, it was fun.
That hour went really, really fast.
I can't
Oh, it's already
believe it's
gone?
already been
It's
an hour.
it's 8:10.
Get out of here.
It flies.
Yeah, that's nice.
It goes really fast, but we do appreciate you coming in. I know we're all excited to have you in the
Yeah,
podcast,
thanks.
Definitely.
and it's nice to know you don't live too far away.
No,
so we
let's
can
go
always,
fishing.
can always
Yeah.
get you in
Yeah,
again.
soak up.
River's opening up. Tara's excited. I'm
know
excited.
some
Dan's
places.
excited.
I
Yeah,
need
Flathead's
it.
open in a couple weeks.
Chewy's gonna fish this year, I think.
Yeah, I'm
Try
gonna
to get
go.
more time to get out on the water.
I'm gonna do the bank.
Yeah,
The bank league.
that'll be fun. So you guys, we do have the Catfish League this year again, and it's going to be bank and boat. They alternate weeks. You can only fish one of them. If you fish the bank, you can't fish the boat. Vice versa. Our grand opening for the spring Catfish opening, we got a ton of new rod companies and rods coming in here this year, guys. We got a ton of Catch the Fever. We got Slime Cat. We got Mad Cats. We have Warrior Cat. We have Muddy River catfishing rods. We have do we have any sumos coming in? Catfish sumo coming in. We're gonna have all the terminal tackle. We're gonna have a lot of weights this year, guys. We're gonna start melting some weights so everyone can have those, because every time I was working here, someone wanted weights, and they go fast. So we'll have new reels. Those are ordered as well. We're gonna have everything in here, all of our apparel. So April 8th.
Close.
Jeez,
Close.
I'm losing it.
Super close.
April 8th. Make sure you guys come in here then. It's going to be a Saturday. Dan's going to be grilling food. I'll
he's not.
either at least have one of my Vikings player
Oh, no,
friends
you're
here
not.
taking pictures with you.
Oh,
You guys,
yeah.
if you want to meet some Vikings players, they might be here
I'll
that day. I
grill.
haven't got that in writing yet.
I'll do it.
Thielen. Will we have Thielen?
Is that my phone?
Not mine.
Oh, is that
Whoa.
probably mine? I thought
think it's
turned
hers.
it off.
But we appreciate you guys coming in to the Old Carver podcast.
Sorry, whoever's calling me, don't.
Oh, it's going.
It's just press a button on the side.
That's
Yeah, there you
okay.
go.
Just send it. We appreciate Amy coming in here. Thank you,
Yeah.
Amy.
Yeah, it was fun.
Thank you, Amy.
And next
Hope you-
weekend, guys, next week on Wednesday, we have Dieter Melhorn Fishing. He has almost 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Good friend of mine. He's been doing the YouTube game. He's a professional videographer for NASCAR. Does a lot of NASCAR interview videography,
I did not know that.
lot of camera stuff for NASCAR. He's big time videographer. So
Dude, I'm huge.
that is
so-
Dieter. And he's a goofy man. He is not scared of confrontation, of having different views from everyone else, and that's what I love about him. But thank you again, Amy, for coming in, and we will see you guys next Wednesday. Old Carver Fishing Podcast.
Sure.
We're out.
See you guys.